Greetings and welcome to another Unfortunate Spacemen dev vlog for the new patch 0.2.15 Nuke the Bugs. Things are looking great. I'm Zag, otherwise known as Coffee, and I need coffee. Does anyone have coffee? This week's patch is large and fixes a lot of large issues in this large game. But you say, whoa, Zag, you just had a patch last week. How can this one be large? And I say, it just is. Let me finish my vlog. Stop talking. Don't talk over me. Nuke the Bugs features two new weapons that fill very unique roles that we've not seen yet in Unfortunate Spacemen. A whole new map, the smallest yet. 3 major bugs have been squashed, I hope. And some large changes and improvements across existing maps. Sit back, relax, and let me put some creamer in your coffee. Round time has been increased to 20 minutes, up from 15. As I mentioned in a previous vlog, smaller maps, longer rounds. This gives Spacemen a little more wiggle room to complete objectives, and gives the monster a little more wiggle room to wiggle and murder. Mostly that. It also allows us to unlock a few more power items as the game progresses. There are 2 new power items that can spawn from item canisters. As you know, power item canisters are unlocked as the game clock marches downwards. On screen is a list of the power items that spawn, including the new ones. The first new weapon, the rocket launcher. Firing a single rocket before becoming depleted, this heavy-handed weapon can be used to turn the tide at the last moment, score a lucky kill on the monster, or throw a crowd of spacemen into utter chaos. But remember, there is only one shot, and it moves quite slowly. Use it wisely, and don't give it to the guy who's had 7 cups of coffee. Or maybe do. The second new power item is a gear item. This goes in your gear slot, and by pressing 3, you can deploy it anywhere you please. But you may want to plan where because
device detected. Please clear blast radius.
If you still have blast shield by this point in the round, you can survive the blast. If you don't, run like hell. This is where that coffee comes in handy. If you can see a skull icon, it means you are in the blast radius. If you see a nuclear icon, you are outside the blast radius and can enjoy the fireworks. It will destroy anyone and everything you love in that blast radius. And the things you don't love. Everything. There's a brand new map, and it's the smallest yet. It sounds like I'm bragging about it being small. I don't know. The Experiment. Taking place inside one of the company's cheese-laden hypercubes. The company conducts most of its sensitive testing inside semi-stable hyperholes. These tests are often used to measure the productivity of a new work procedure, to weed out unexpected employee behaviors, or to simply appease Jubberith, the World Eater, for another century or 2. You know, the usual stuff. The Tram map, Duress. The northern planet landing pad now has a walkway stretching to Station 5. It's still a risky walk, but it means you can walk right across the gap without the tram, which should prevent a situation like last week.
Station 5.
Station 6 now connects to the damaged area of the Station 8 bunks with a drop bridge. It's not the safest connector, but it's better than having to always wait for a tram. On Recruitment, which turned out to be a more popular map than I even predicted, I tweaked a few things, fixed a few bugs, and lowered a few walls or added stepping steps to the things that were proving a challenge to jump over. Outpost XIII received some interesting layout changes to help the monster elude its prey without having to enter through predictable, narrow doorways. The rooftop of Outpost XIII's main structure now has 3 holes, one in the freezer, one in the bathroom, and one in the kennel. Covered by an oxygen shield, these holes can be entered from the rooftop by a spaceman or monster. These rooms were all previously dead ends with a single entrance, but with the posterior claws perk, the monster can even jump out of them if the need arises. This should make less games end with everyone cornering the monster in the freezer, and hopefully just adds a few more options for the monster while keeping Outpost XIII's tight, claustrophobic feel intact. The Spectator/death camera should spend a lot less time looking at walls or above a dead monster. I made it so it always looks at the body so crouching and ragdolls, in particular, are now more directly followed by the camera. Chocolate milk perk. I saved this for last because, well, the chocolate milk perk is near and dear to me, and it may not be apparent right away, but it's also a large part of the lore. That's not a joke. The chocolate milk perk was creating a lot of confusion during matches. Previously how it worked, when you reached a lethal amount of damage, the perk would trigger, causing you to drink some chocolate-flavored space milk, restoring you to full health. The monster could be clawing away at you, and then suddenly you'd be back at full health, allowing you to turn the fight around and kill the monster, who, by all regards, earned the damage they did to you. So, I've totally revamped this perk to be far more interesting as a wild card perk than it currently is. If you use this perk in your loadout, know that there are potential risks. The changes are as follows. Chocolate-flavored space milk no longer restores your health at all. This effect no longer can be triggered by explosive damage, since that was stepping far too much on the territory of the blast shield perk, which saves you from explosions. As before, the chocolate milk perk will electro-lock you, disallowing you from doing much of anything. It will also make you immune to damage for a very short period of time. Due to the quantum effects of chocolate-flavored space milk that has been left out for a bit too long, after about 1 second, you will teleport. After a few more seconds, you'll find yourself quantum tunneling to a random location on the map. This will usually be a safe place, but it could also be in front of an airlock or inside an emergency mass ejector. So to end the vlog, here's basically what the chocolate milk process now looks like. You take full damage. You teleport. What the f***? These are the staff offices, like observation deck, right?
Oh, sup, Vault?
Hey, dude.
Sup?
I'm gonna clear the landing pad. I haven't heard shit. I haven't actually seen anybody. But I do have a health syringe if we want to test anyone. I should probably test you, actually.
I was hungry. Here.
Are you willing to submit to a test? Ah! I gotta get inside. Oh, you f***.
I had to throw it.
Okay, well, I hate you. Look, health syringe. You dick. I could go around, but I just wanted to show you. Wanted to show you I'm safe. Oh no! Oh,
Oh, that was a mistake.
oh no! What a dick.